Welcome back to my Across New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow? Today, for some reason, I'm going to be like tomorrow, so that doesn't make any sense. I just noticed it was a version of 1.11.1 in the top right corner. I thought it was 1.11, I thought we were on 1.11.0, were there like bug fixes or something in the most recent update? I have no idea. Perhaps they patched in new items into the timely Nook shopping section. I don't know what it's called. The limited one. You know what I mean, or maybe you don't. I don't know. Hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 5:53 p.m. on Saturday, October 23rd, 2021. Now to really speak of today, and Isabel's not going to say anything particularly unique. Sorry, Isabel. Isabel. I want to go Izzy, but then I was like, I can't call her Izzy. We're not on a first name basis, Isabel. Well, I mean, we are, but we're not on a nickname basis, you know? It's like, Isabel. Anyway, you see that post on Reddit? It was on r/games. I think it's taken down now because it was a comedy post, and to be fair enough, r/games is kind of more of a serious subreddit where they want serious discussion, so they took it down. But it was like a Peppa Pig video game comparison or something. What is this? Do what you want from us. Who knows? It was a comparison of because for some reason I know there's now a recently released Peppa Pig game coming out on PS5. Wait, Rockhead statue. Wait, hold on. Is this a museum one? It is a museum one. Is this a legitimate one? I think this is a legitimate one as well. I'm not actually sure. Thanks, Apollo. I think that's one we don't have legitimately. Kicky Sliders here. Oh yeah, today's Saturday. For some reason I thought today was Friday, but it's not. So I'm just going to go immediately check out if this is a real or fake artistic thing. And then we'll go about our usual business. Otherwise I'll forget, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, there's a Peppa Pig. I can't remember what it's called. Hold on. I just found the thread again. But I found it on the PS5 subreddit instead of the r/games subreddit. But is this called Peppa Pig? I don't know. There's a Peppa Pig game coming out, and there's a comparison between the PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Nintendo Switch graphical comparisons. I didn't watch it, obviously, the entire way through. Because, obviously, it's... Well, I suppose... I say it's like a joke video. I think it's a premise in as a joke, but I guess it does take it kind of seriously, where it actually compares it properly, I suppose. Because if you haven't seen these comparison videos, they always just show, like, different clips, and they make different assessments based on... Wait, do we already have a statue? Blathers. I mean, it's not your fault, but still. And they do these comparisons. They show like a triple split screen of like the same sort of scene or area. And on the PlayStation, there's always PlayStation, Xbox, and the current Nintendo console all the time. So you know, oh, we do have this one already. I wonder what one we have is a fake real. I think it's real. Isn't the fake one like blue or something? I don't know if I just made it up. But yeah, they have like a triple split screen. They've got the same cutscene playing, and you can do like comparisons, and we'll see what's going on. They've got like little FPS graphs and everything showing the stability of what's going on. They also do things. They compare like different categories, I suppose, of graphical comparisons. Like they compare the shadows. They compare things like reflections, lighting. I think, I don't know. Like, hold on, I could just open up this video now. If it's right here, I'm gonna obviously play it on mute, so you can't listen to Peppa Pig. Ooh, you nearly heard that. Sorry. It's by some Spanish YouTuber, and you know, got the resolutions compared up. We'll just keep it on the other screen. The most hilarious part of this is the fact that obviously this premise is entirely a joke in of itself. You know, like no one really cares about Peppa Pig comparisons or anything like this. But the fact that it's done so, not even the fact it's done seriously, but they actually put proper work in to actually, you know, compare it properly, like as if they compare it to all other games. Which anything, you know, we kind of stand, we stand that, we stand people who are treating these kids' games properly, you know, doing the just desserts. And if anything, it's a little bit enlightening, because there's this one section, where it's like loading screens, and the Switch version actually takes like 5 times longer to load into the loading screen for the Peppa Pig game. The draw distance, with shadows, obviously draw distance doesn't really make much sense in a Peppa Pig game, but the fact they compared it even in the first place is hilarious. I don't even know if it's my mind looking at this being like, oh, there actually is like slight differences between like how it's rendered or something like that, but my mind is telling me there is, but I can't tell in the slightest what they are, I'll be perfectly honest. Like some of it is like the colours look a little bit different, and then some of it is just like strange, but anyway, it's probably one of my favourite things is when people take a silly premise but then like execute it fully, like properly, completely fully commit to the entire thing, and just like give it the same sort of care and love that perhaps a much more serious premise of a project would for them. And looking at this channel, I can see him recommended. We got Resident Evil 4, a VR version comparison, but it's just, the entire idea of him doing a Peppa Pig comparison is fantastic. I mean, even still, the fact that it's a joke premise, I still think you do get useful information out of it. But you learn the fact that the loading screens in the Switch versions are actually incredibly long, which perhaps that might sway your verdict slightly if you're intrigued in really buying this Peppa Pig game, which I'd imagine if you're intrigued or considering buying it in the first place, you probably would have already bought it by now, or you probably aren't too concerned with the comparisons. But I suppose if you are slightly in the know about gaming and that sort of thing, you aren't just you're a gaming parent, I suppose. You can now use a much more informed decision to decide which Peppa Pig game to purchase for your child. And isn't that just the sweetest thing? Sort of. Sweet and funny, which is honestly a pretty good combination of things. For something to be both simultaneously funny and very, sweet, I guess. Although part of me is also, the completionist, the archivist. Well, not really an archivist, I suppose, but the completionist, I suppose, is perhaps a better way to put it. Or the better way to put it. In me, it's just like, this should be done, I guess, for every single game out there. Even all those kids' games, which, most, maybe all gamers, would probably, like, turn their nose up at and be like, this isn't a proper game, why even bother covering this, is not going to help anyone. Just for, like, completion's sake, you might as well do them, or something like that. Put it in the pipeline. I'd imagine the people working on it, I'm sure some people will work on it and just be like, oh, what's the point of this? I want to do something which actually matters. But, I'm sure a lot of people would also work on it and be like, oh, thank God. A break from the monotony, I was sick of comparing the 5th AAA title released by, like EA, I don't know which game company to take a shot at, this month. Whoa, do you hear a noise? Hold on a second. I hear a weird noise. There's a false alarm. It turns out a neighbour is drilling something, or using some sort of power tool. I was actually losing my mind because it was like a really high pitch, like beeping, whirring noise or something. And I was like, what on earth is this? Is this like an alarm? I was like, but it sounds so quiet, so it's not an alarm near me, but maybe it's an alarm somewhere else. So, went to check. Just a neighbour doing some woodwork or something. I don't know. That's not meant to be like a shot at my neighbour. They can do woodwork if they want. I'm not entirely bothered. Sounds don't really distract me, I suppose, as much. But yeah, for completionist sake, I suppose, just archiving it. Oh yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I'm sure there's some people who work on it being like, something to break up this monotony, or, repeating the same process over and over again, at least having this sort of like, the humorous aspect, or side of it, by seeing, a game which obviously, like, no one really cares if you cover graphical comparisons of it or not. Being able to do that and then actually, like, producing it using the same sort of methodologies that you're used to is, I don't know, perhaps a bit more comforting. Perhaps it lays off a bit of a pressure as well, because it's like, oh, well, it doesn't really matter if maybe this isn't your best work or anything like that. Maybe if something's slightly out of sync, something slightly wrong, who cares? Because it's Peppa Pig. The graphical comparisons, not to say that Peppa Pig doesn't matter or anything like that. And honestly, I've basically no idea about Peppa Pig because I've never seen an episode, but it's not going to be really a big deal if you get some information wrong. Like, I'd imagine if you get some information wrong on the latest, I don't know, like, really popular game series or something like that, some very big fans of that series, shall we say, like, would be like, I can't believe you did this wrong, you're putting the game in the wrong light, in the bad light, blah, 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 I can't believe you've been so biased about this sort of thing. You know how internet, well, the worst part of internet communities can be. I'm not going to group all internet communities into that sort of same lump. I think it's a bit unfair, because most people in these sort of internet communities are just probably like me. We just lurk. We don't really care. As long as, people aren't hurting anyone, and it's just fine, I suppose, having the way things are. People are hopefully no one reads far too much into that, then takes, wrong information out that you shouldn't. But that's what the worst parts of the internet community might do. But anyway, just like, what, is the Peppa Pig fandom just gonna, like, light you up or something because you didn't display the proper resolutions of Peppa Pig or something. Like you had slightly incorrect settings where you were messing about with trying to get the proper comparisons up or something. I don't know, like what the Peppa Pig community is like 6-year-olds or something, right? I don't actually know what target demographic is for Peppa Pig. Is it like, it might be like babies, or it might be like okay, hold on. In my mind, for like children's TV, there's like, I don't know, 4 different categories. You obviously got like from 0-year-olds up to like 3-year-olds or something. Like they don't know what's going on. They've got like no object permanence. What you're just trying to do is expose them to, I suppose, as many sort of different senses as possible, so we can sort of learn about the world. And then you got like the age group of like 3 to 7. Even 7 might be a bit high, but you got childish, but they've got like concepts of what's going on, and they might not be like, obviously they haven't learned about everything. They don't even know what the word quantum mechanics even means, but obviously they start to feel like you can have a proper conversation with them a lot better than you could with a 2-year-old. I'd imagine. I don't have children, so perhaps it's not really my place to say. And then you got like, I don't know, it's like 7 to 13, where it's like, they're starting to be like, oh, I want to act a little bit older, but they're not quite at the stage where they're acting older, right? Yet. The preteen era, I suppose, as they say. Because, I say that because I'm obviously I was a preteen once myself, and I was I'm going to try and act older than I was, just what like teenagers and cool people do, and just completely not what we do in the slightest. And then you got obviously 13 upwards into adulthood, whereas the actual teenagers, where I don't know, I guess you're trying to explore and find out who you are. Anyway, obviously Peppa Pig's not, I don't imagine is directed for the preteen. Did we even get enough fossils? I don't know. The preteens up into adult age, sort of age ranges. But I don't actually know Peppa Pig's meant to be for like babies, literally, or meant to be for like young children instead, or like toddlers. I mean, in the end, I suppose it's not really an age. Well, I mean, okay, hold on. Let me think how I phrase this. There is a targeted age range, of course, of Peppa Pig, and for like any products really. There's not many products which are being made where, the people who market it, people behind the business about something, it's like, just like, who cares? It's often targeted to certain demographics, as that's just, I suppose, how most efficiently you can target things business-wise. I don't actually know. I'm not in marketing, so who knows? But what was I going with this? I mean, if you like Peppa Pig and you're like 50 or like in your adult ages, like, rock on, dude. Is all I've really got to say about that. And enjoy what you enjoy, as long as you're not hurting anyone, of course. Golden rule, I always say, as long as you're not hurting anyone, do whatever. If you enjoy Peppa Pig for whatever reasons, by all means, carry on watching Peppa Pig. But it's just like, what is the target demographic of Peppa Pig? Because my only like knowledge of Peppa Pig is a parody of Peppa Pig, which is like the Scottish Peppa Pig or something, which you should go to. If you don't mind some expletives, some swear words from that sort of thing, you should go look it up, because it's I'm not sure if it's actually all that funny, but it might just be the comparison, the sort of juxtaposition between, of course, the innocent children's cartoon Peppa Pig with like swearing Scottish Peppa Pig is very funny. I don't know why Peppa Pig. I feel like Peppa Pig, she's got like some sort of like meme following around her, and I'm not particularly sure why her in particular. As such, like, I don't think Dora Explorer's got exactly the same sort of meme pull that Peppa Pig for some reason does. Because, off the top of my head, there's at least 2, maybe 3 Peppa Pig memes I know. Of course, you've got the Scottish Peppa Pig. You've got that one where she's like, we listen to very grown-up music, and I believe in the original version it's just like heads, shoulders, knees and toes or something. But then, like, someone's replaced the music with, like, death metal or something like that. And you got another one where Peppa Pig is apparently like 20 meters tall or something weird like that. I don't actually know how that sort of information came to be. It's just one of the things I've heard where you like Google like, oh, how tall is Peppa Pig? And it's like Peppa Pig's like 6 foot or something, and you're like, what? Peppa Pig is taller than I am. That's insane. Also very horrifying. I mean, any cartoon in real life would be horrifying, but especially one which would be that tall, I suppose. Bell Cricket, Hit Rocks, Yellow Perch is going to be a bit difficult, but yeah, so serious silliness, I suppose, is something which tickles my fancy quite a lot. I'm not sure if I can really conjure up any examples off the top of my head when people like really hard commit to just like a stupid bit, I suppose, for no apparent reason, rather than just do it with all their might. It's something I feel like certainly happens in comedy skits much more often, but, you know, it's again, some of these examples I'm just like out of nowhere in my head is a little bit difficult. It's not like I categorize the things I remember quite in this way. Be like, oh, you know, this is funny because, you know, this is under a serious thing done sillily. No, silly thing done seriously sort of category in my mind. That's not how I order my memories, I suppose. You might ask, as a follow-up question, how do you order your memories? I don't know. We're just in there, I guess. Maybe like some filing. Maybe we do a decimal system. I know that's for books or something, but I don't also know how it works, to be honest. But it's been a while since I've been to a library. Well, it's been a while since I've been to a library to take out a book, I should say. It's not been that long since I've been to the library. Maybe in like the last 4 years or something. 5 years? I don't know. Give or take. I don't know where I was going with this, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. What other silly things done... silly premises done with a serious sort of veneer over the top of them? I don't know. I suppose it's just the sort of juxtaposition of it in first place. It makes it all quite amusing. You know, the contrast. You know, we love contrast in, you know, literature, media, and like everything, really. Contrast is quite a ubiquitous device, I suppose, for, well, anything, you know, arts. Well, no, I was going to say science, but I'm not really sure if that's true. It's not like in science you can really like force contrast to happen. It's more just like a sort of coincidental pattern which you notice to be like, oh, well, what a interesting contrast, I suppose. But not when you have control over the medium itself. That sort of contrast and juxtaposition that you can put with each other is, you know, entertaining, I suppose, to say the very least. Catch fish. Yellow perch is a river fish, I believe, right? Anyway, you can tell I'm just, you know, slowly losing it, just waiting till 5th of November to roll around so we can experience a new update all for ourselves. Hedge standy and boomerang. I don't know which of those is easier to make. I'm going to imagine hedge standy is quite easy to make. Oh, or we could just do boomerang. You know, we can literally just make it right now. But we're not going to yet. Yeah, I don't know. What other like extraordinary serious sort of game reviews on silly things? I mean, that's like the only thing I can think of, which is not really even. I mean, I've kind of already covered that, I suppose, with Peppa Pig. I suppose you could be like, oh, really serious film reviews about children's films or something. Not to say that children's films can't have like a certain layer of depth to them, but often the depth and the tropes that they incorporate tend to be a lot more simplified. You know, it's a lot easier to, well, I was going to say it's a lot easier to impress children, I suppose, with that sort of... What? Oh, you know what? I must have accidentally grabbed onto the crayfish or something. To impress kids with simpler stories, so you don't have to try as hard. But it's also because, like, subversion of expectations, I suppose, is less expected when you're a child watching a movie. Why? Because you don't even know what the general tropes are in media properties. You haven't consumed nearly enough. You can't be like, oh, this is a classic. I don't know, what's a common trope? The rebel with a heart of gold, like character trope that you've seen a million times before, because you've never even heard of what that is before. You don't know what it is. You have no concept of it. Ah, get out of here, balloon! I did it again. Why do I have so many random furniture items put down? It makes it so difficult to fish. But yeah, I don't know, and I'm trying to think what other, because I can't think of the only times I can think of someone taking something silly seriously is when they always it's basically like they juxtapose is that yellow perch? Is yellow perch? Right, we did it. They juxtapose like a really innocent or childish, perhaps even, media property with like a much more serious like theming or story surrounding it, if that makes sense. Which isn't, I mean, it's along the same sort of lines, but it's not really the same thing. It doesn't have that same sort of vibe as the same sort of vibe as the, you know, the graphical comparison between Peppa Pig and that sort of thing. Because, you know, I guess part of it is like this, while it technically is a parody, doesn't feel like a parody. It's not treated like a parody, I suppose, is perhaps a better way to put it, despite the premise is the parody in the first place, not the execution of it. Well, when people do those comparisons of like, oh, you know, it's Animal Crossing, but it's like a horror story, which was a famous thing a while back, and you could probably find it online. I don't remember what it was called, to be honest. but it just no, you know what? That's spoilers. You can find it yourself in the Animal Crossing. It's not that short, like horror story thing. Like that's more just like I don't know, because I guess that's also the concept is the parody, but the execution is serious. I guess it's more like the execution itself is also contributing to, but I don't know, something about that just intrinsically feels different to me, but I'm not sure I can quite put my finger on why. I'm not sure I can express why it feels so different. Maybe that's why it's so difficult to conjure up any sort of like other examples of of like the sort of thing I'm going for. I suppose it's like you know, covering like Baby Shark or something, but like it's a full like rock band cover or something, like taken very seriously with like properly arranged musical progressions and that sort of thing, and sung heartily rather than just like it's a you know, I guess is what it is. I like serious parodies rather than comedic parodies. Which I don't know if that's much more of a reflection of my own character or a reflection of, well, I don't really know what it's a reflection of, to be honest, and perhaps I shouldn't think too hard about it because I'm not really sure if it's a reflection of much in the first place, but I think that's why. I think I just like try hard parodies rather than comedic parodies, you know, because there's always like two ways you can go, like with maybe more than two ways, but like the two main ways you can go with parodying something is obviously you just like take what's the phrase? Take a mickey out of it. Take a mick out of it. You just like completely like flanderize it. You just like make it so extreme, so overly top, stupidly comical that just like it's just nonsensical, but not like nonsensical, but just like sort of like roll your eyes. This is like well, me personally, I sort of just like roll my eyes, being like I was like kind of childish at this point. But like serious execution, like a serious parody, where they actually just everything is just done and written so straight. I suppose that's why. Maybe perhaps I just have sort of preference to like deadpan humour. This is sort of like the equivalent of a deadpan humour and the sense, in a parody sense, but through the medium itself rather than the content. Does that make sense? I don't know if anything I just said makes sense. It makes sense in my mind, but of course I know what I'm talking about. Well, I know what I'm referring to, so that's, you know, certainly a helpful step. But I don't have to make that sort of leap of logic. Did we find the person who's crafting? I don't think we found the crafter. Let's find the crafter. We know it's not Rowan. I don't know if it's Audie. I feel like I saw Audie walking about. Who have I not seen walking about? I think Lily and Raymond. I think it's just Lily and Raymond. And maybe Audie. Let's have a quick check over here to see if it's on. No, we have seen Audie walking around. Is that Bell Cricket? That's a Bell Cricket. Catch that, because that's actually a Nook mission. One of the few times we've actually, oh, that's not Bell Cricket, that's just, oh no, that is Bell Cricket, okay. One of the few times we've actually done the specific fish/bug missions. We have quite a lot, to be fair. So serious parodies. I know, because if you phrase it like serious parodies, I feel like that gives the wrong sort of impression, you know? It sounds like parodying serious material rather than taking silly material but executing it in a serious way. But also, I don't know. It's difficult to explain something which you yourself don't even like properly understand why you find it so, I suppose, compelling in the first place. We need to go sell some stuff. We have a full inventory, apparently. Who knew when that happened? So basically, I don't know how I managed to talk for 20 minutes about a Peppa Pig graphical comparison video. But the parody, I don't really want to label it as a parody because it's done so straight, I suppose. Or played so straight might be the better way to put it. But yeah, I don't know. We probably talked about this for long enough. We'll come back to it once you know, I haven't even done like my normal usual stuff I talk about. What have I been up to today? Record some Townless Principle, which was what I was going to record yesterday before I just didn't. I don't even know why I didn't record it yesterday. What did I record yesterday? I don't even know. Oh, did I record Life is Strange yesterday? Maybe. No, I can't be right because I still need to edit those videos. If you're wondering, some of the videos got copyright claimed. Two of them, so I need to edit out the game audio, which won't take too long. I'll probably do one of them straight after this, get it rendering. Oh, you know what? I should probably do both of them, get them both rendering, and then I'll go make some dinner for myself or something and eat, because they shouldn't take too long to render nor edit. It's only just muting the game audio from one section. I'm really annoyed because one section I'm muting is actually a really like emotional, heartwarming section. So I don't know how I'm gonna it feels really bad taking out the audio in that sort of section, but at least I put subtitles on so you can sort of hear what's going on. But, you know, obviously, I mean, I can't monetize the videos anyway, but, like, I just, perhaps I'm a little bit paranoid about copyright claims, even though the only thing it says is, like, oh, it's not a strike against your channel. It's just, like, possible thing, it's just you can't monetize the video. I'm just like, I don't want that to turn into something which actually could take down the channel eventually, and, you know, like, lose all, like, my hobby, I suppose. I don't want, like, to turn around or heel on it and be like, oh, you know, change our mind. This is now DMCA-able. I'm like, please don't do that. Like, I'm just trying to make videos for fun. So I'm editing it now because, you know, obviously I delete the video files in the future. I don't keep all my episodes on my hard drive. Are you kidding? I've only got like, I got like 1 terabyte in total, I think. Which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But it's not so much when the videos take like anywhere from small games can be like 1 gigabyte size, or, you know, Talos Principle, the file sizes are 33 gigabytes for some reason. I have no idea why. There's just apparently a lot of things to render. So yeah, I guess I'll get that open. You know what? Why don't I open DaVinci Resolve right now, which is my video editor of choice. Well, actually After Effects would be, but, you know, After Effects, you know, costs money. DaVinci is free. So that's why I'm using DaVinci Resolve instead. And plus it's completely fine if I just need to do small things like just mute some audio. Well, I've got to open it. It actually opened way faster than I thought it would. We will rock you. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, to be honest. I've just noticed that here on the DaVinci Resolve launching thing, there's a PostgreSQL section here. You can upload databases or something? Weird. I actually know PostgreSQL, so I guess I could. I mean, I could type some code, but I don't know what code I type. I guess it'd be for file management. Now I think about it, but yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, sorry. Just a little bit of a I don't even know, side departure there from whatever the heck I was talking about. Anyway, what I'm basically saying is Peppa Pig deserves better. And I'm glad someone out there is actually properly trying to get the graphical comparisons of Peppa Pig we so desire, so I can decide which platform it would be best for me to buy the game on. I can't wait for the IGN review to see what it's going to be rated. I'm going to personally predict a 9.8 Game of the Year possible nomination for Peppa Pig, whatever it's called. It can't just be called Peppa Pig. Or it's always with these sort of things. They've always got like a little tagline to go underneath them. Peppa Pig video game. My friend Peppa Pig. There we go. But I think probably one of the parts which I also find incredibly hilarious about the whole situation overall is when someone makes obviously a very like serious version of parody, I suppose, of this entire thing, but then like, for example, in this Reddit thread, like all the comments on it are very sort of serious things, you know, like as if it were like a much more mainstream, shall we say, graphical comparison between video games, but everyone's sort of just like playing along with a joke. Maybe that's why I like it. Just like everyone just collectively buys into the same joke because we're all, you know, we're all on the same wavelength or something like that. I don't know. But this has become like a reflection of your own humanity, I suppose, in sort of weird ways. I'm not really sure that's quite the angle I intended to take, but, you know, I suppose we're here at this angle, so let's just ride it out to the end. We're just going to customize these two tools. We'll get around the car ticket, put things away, and I think I'll round off this episode here. The only reason I want to slot on this customization of tools is because I think we've been using a lot of these tools quite a lot, and I don't quite want them to break. So yeah, who's your favourite Peppa Pig character? I'm quite partial to Peppa Pig myself. I know that's quite basic, but, you know, she's always there in the episodes. She's always saying funny and smart stuff. I don't know. What's Peppa Pig's personality? I've got no clue. Again, to reference whatever I was talking about, like, didn't we just customize this? I think we just customized this. I think it was this we needed to customize. That sounds right. I can't remember what episode I was talking about it in, when I was just like, I don't know what the main characters' personalities are in these big media properties like Mickey Mouse and Mario. I know they have personalities, but they're so bland and boring, but also generic, oh, I'm a good guy without flaws, I suppose. But it gets kind of dull, I suppose. I hope Peppa Pig doesn't fall in that same boat. boat. I don't know why I said that so weirdly. Peppa Pig, you know, she's not a Mary Sue, probably. I don't know why. I'm trying to talk about Peppa Pig as if I know exactly what I'm talking about on Peppa Pig, but I really don't. I really don't. And perhaps you find that funny, perhaps you don't. I don't know. I've kind of reached the end of what I was going to talk about, but I still want to put stuff away because our inventory is quite full. So I guess I'll just fill these last sort of 30 seconds with whatever I want in my own head, and you'll just have to deal with it, you know? Has anyone made a Peppa Pig baby shark parody? Peppa Pig, oink, 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 oink. I guess like... That's quite hard to do rapid fire. That's the thing of Peppa Pig, you know, isn't it? Peppa Pig. Something like that. Peppa Pig, oink, 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 oink. Peppa Pig, oink, 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 oink. Peppa Pig, oink, 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 oink. Peppa Pig. Mommy Pig, oink, 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 oink. Mommy Pig, oink, 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 oink. I don't know. What is wrong with me? In so many different ways, so many different levels. Who knows? But we're going to put the stuff away. I'm going to go edit those Life is Strange videos ever so swiftly. I didn't mean to click that. And then hopefully I can start cooking some food, some delicious food for me to chow down on, as they say. And, you know, perhaps just like the most inhumane, not inhumane, that makes it sound like it's cruel, more like in the most strange way possible. So get DaVinci Resolve open. I can't remember which episode it is of Life is Strange I need to edit. 18 and 19, right? That sounds right. I recorded out to episode 20 if you want to know, and I think episode 11 just came out. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join Video Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.